So picture this. One random Tuesday, boom, the sky rips open like your Wi-Fi after a bad storm. Gates appear out of nowhere, and monsters start sprinting out like it's Black Friday at Walmart. Humanity, screwed. The only people who could fight back were the awakened, Aka people who suddenly unlocked magical hacks IRL. Cut to the Golden Seekers. These dudes are out there fighting off monsters like they're farming XP. Screams, chaos, explosions, the whole Avengers-level mess. One rookie yells for help, about to get clapped by a beast, but then out of nowhere, someone drop-kicks the monster into next week. That someone, Misadu Kaiohiro. The guy, the myth, the time-bending menace. This dude doesn't fight, he spoils the ending. He literally knows what's gonna happen next because his power is time itself. Imagine playing chess with a guy who already knows your every move. Yeah, that's Kaiohiro. He wipes out dozens of monsters in seconds like he's skipping cutscenes. People are watching like, bro, is this guy even human? One teammate's like, nah man, his power's straight up inhuman. After absolutely speedrunning the battlefield, Kaiohiro takes down the last monster and is like, all right boys, time to seal the gate and restore peace. Classic hero moment, right? Wrong. Because as soon as he starts sealing the gate, bam, the dude gets yeeted inside it and the gate slams shut. Everyone's outside like, oops. And Kaiohiro's inside like, wait a damn minute, this wasn't in the timeline. He's confused, man literally can see the future, but he never saw this betrayal coming. And then his trusted team, the Golden Seekers, reveal their true colors. They're like, surprise, you're not one of us, you're actually a level 100 monster with time powers. We just kept you around cause it made us rich. Yeah, man's teammates went full Among Us on him, all for some money. Kaiohiro's heart breaks harder than anime fans on finale week. He thought they were his people, his squad. But nope, turns out they were just freeloading cowards who stabbed him in the back. The monsters inside the gate sense blood and start rushing him. Kaiohiro fights like a madman, rewinding, dodging, freezing time, but no matter what future he looks into, every outcome ends with him dead. Every single one. And yet he keeps fighting. Because if he's gonna die, he's not going down like a loser. He's going down like a legend. Right before the final wave hits him, he screams a promise that echoes through time itself, that he'll reincarnate, grow stronger, and one day drag every traitor straight to hell. Then, boom, he unleashes his final spell, carrying his rage across the world as everything fades to black. Next thing he knows, he's in a hospital bed. New body, new world, new name. Bro literally respawned. He checks the mirror, different face, same cold eyes, and realizes the first phase of his plan worked. But something's off. The tech, the world, the vibe, all feels too advanced. He checks an ID card and yeah, he's 20 years in the future. But the real kicker, the body he's in has a void attribute. Now if you think that sounds cool, it is. It's like the imagine anything, make it real ability. But everyone thinks it's useless cause nobody knows how to use it. Kaiohiro laughs like, bro, you all slept on the void attribute. Guess who's about to break the game? He experiments a bit, imagines his body healing, and boom, wounds start closing. Slowly, sure, but it works. Dude basically just discovered self-repair DLC. Then a doctor walks in like, saints be praised, you're awake. Kaiohiro's like, saints, the hell is that? You mean like influencers of the holy type? Doctor, the pentagram saints. Kaiohiro, never heard of M. The doctor's like, oh, you must still be confused, and leaves. Kaiohiro's thinking, new world, new rules, time to catch up. He turns on the TV and immediately wants to throw it out the window. Because there it is, a full-blown documentary calling him Misadu Kaiohiro, the SSS class disaster. Apparently, his old team, the Pentagram Saints, told the world he was the villain who tried to rule humanity. They became heroes, legends, worshipped saints. And him, branded the biggest monster in history. Kaiohiro just laughs, that deep villain-core laugh that says, "You messed with the wrong timeline." He swears he'll take everything back, but first, he needs power. After a few weeks, Kaiohiro finally walks out of the hospital like a guy who just respawned in Minecraft, with full enchanted netherite gear. The doctor is staring at him like he's watching a Pixar miracle happen in real life, whispering, "Saints be praised." And Kaiohiro just cuts him off like, "Relax, doc, that wasn't divine intervention, that was me. But hey, thanks for the bed and the free food." He leaves the hospital fully healed, newly leveled, and basically running on Iron Man fresh out of the cave energy. With nothing holding him back, especially now that everyone connected to Kasuk is apparently dead, he sighs like, "Damn poor kid, but also, yay, unlimited freedom." He heads straight to a dungeon gate, hood up like he's trying to avoid paparazzi. But the guard stops him with pure HR department energy. "Sir, minimum level 30 and you need a team. Going solo is dangerous." Kaiohiro hits him with the student card equivalent of Tony Stark saying, "I am Iron Man. I'm from a top university. I signed the consent form. Legally, you can't stop me." The nearby crowd laughs like he's the tutorial mode noob trying to enter an endgame raid. Before the guard can lecture him further, Kaiohiro signature speedruns the form and walks in like he owns the place. The guard, realizing this kid is going to die faster than a level 1 player fighting a wither, drags in 3 other adventurers. "Follow him, make sure he doesn't die." The 3 guys immediately smell free loot and rush in, cackling like discount villains from a low-budget anime. One even goes, he needs 100 years more training. Which is funny, because they're about to need respawns. Inside, the dungeon looks like every cave level ever: dark, equi, and 90%. You're probably gonna die here. The 3 idiots sprint for 10 minutes, still finding nothing. Meanwhile, Kaiohiro, he's already solo raiding an entire horde of monsters. He calmly summons void spells like he's browsing a magic catalog. Fire, lightning, oh, why not all of them? The monsters evaporate like Pixar particles in a sad scene. The trio arrives just in time to watch him nuke the last monster. They're shocked for about 2 seconds. Then they see a shiny rare drop, and their greed activates like a Minecraft player spotting diamonds at Y12. Their big plan: assassinate the noob and loot everything. Cute. They backflip around and start flinging spells. Kaiohiro looks at them with the same expression you give when a mosquito tries to fight you. "Really, this is your plan?" He dodges everything without breaking a sweat, like Neo, but sarcastic. Meanwhile, he's silently ranting about how every timeline has the same breed of scumbags who try to rob others. 2 of them panic as their magic gets casually sidestepped. The third one, the brave idiot, rushes in yelling, "You just got lucky," while charging a fire attack. Kaiohiro punches him in the gut, so hard it qualifies as a cutscene. 1-hit KO, body hits ground, achievement unlocked. He looks at the remaining 2 and declares, "No mercy. You guys are the worst, the betray your teammates and steal the loot type, and I'm done tolerating your species." Somewhere deeper in the dungeon, Yachai Sudai, a subordinate of AKO, runs in after hearing a student entered alone. He expects to find a corpse. Instead, he finds 3 idiots lying around like NPCs who glitched during combat. He's confused. He's terrified. He wants a refund on his day. Later at home, Kaiohiro reviews his gains like a gamer checking stats after a boss fight. He settles into bed, ready for his first day at the academy tomorrow. But right then, ding! He sees messages. Messages full of bullying, aimed at the body's previous owner. Cut to the academy. He's going undercover as the body's old owner, some weak kid named Kaisuk, who everyone bullied for being a non-attribute loser. And right off the bat, the bullies roll up like, "Hey weakling, pay your protection money." Kaiuiro's like, "Oh, you picked the wrong reincarnated monster to mess with." They throw fire spells at him. He copies them midair and throws them right back harder. The crowd's like, "Wait, how many elements does this dude have?" Kaiuiro smirks, wrecks them, and says, "From now on, no one looks down on Kaisuk. Remember the name." Boom, confidence restored, bullies obliterated, and the class is shook. But of course the plot thickens. Because a guy named Yache Sudai, right-hand man of Awako, one of the traitors, starts sniffing around. He's investigating the mysterious dungeon massacre from last night, where Kaiuiro literally farmed monsters like it was easy mode. Yache finds 3 adventurers on the ground and instantly thinks, sus. He tracks down Kaisuk, confronts him, and tries to scare him. But Kaiuiro, being 200 IQ, plays it cool, shows his ID that says level 1. Yache gets annoyed, walks off, and Kaiuiro's like, "Perfect. I'll use this clown to climb my way to Awako." Meanwhile, Yache runs to Awako to report. Awako, still as smug as ever, threatens to kick him out if he messes up again. And Yache, who secretly wants to overthrow his own boss one day, decides he's gonna handle Kaisuk personally. Akko is sitting there trying to solve a mystery like he's auditioning for a low-budget detective show. According to Yoichi, a third year entered the dungeon, he says. But plot twist, no third year actually did. So the newbies probably got clapped by a monster, not a student. Awako basically shrugs like he's choosing the safest option on a multiple-choice test. Yeah, monsters, totally monsters, unless something insanely weird happened. Yui, who's been sitting quietly, suddenly remembering the forbidden topic of the day. Ooh, what about the void attribute? That's pretty insanely weird, right? Awako stops mid-thought like a Pixar character who just realized the twist. Okay, fair, that could do it. And before anyone can blink, Yache jumps in like an overexcited golden retriever. "Leave it to me. I'll handle this whole disaster ASAP." Translation: he wants clout, so much clout. Cut to the cave dungeon, students practicing magic, screaming, exploding things, doing everything except following the safety manual. Suddenly, a monster breaks formation like it's trying to win America's Got Talent, Dungeon Edition. The students panic. But before anyone loses a limb, boom, a golden light slices the monster in half like Thor decided to practice his aim. Of course it's Yache, today's boss battle referee. He goes full drill sergeant. "Kids, stop breaking formation. I'm not babysitting today." Everyone's starstruck, whispering things like, "Wow, he was chosen by the principal. How do we join his party?" Basically, he's Minecraft Steve with full enchanted armor, and the rest are villagers going HRRMM. After flexing enough for one morning, Yache lets the students handle cleanup and walks off for important business. He takes out an ornament, basically AirTag Pro, Murder Edition. "Find Kaisuk," he commands. The chain glows and swings like it's trying to say, "He's that way, genius." Yache pretends to be shocked, but honestly, it's exactly what he expected. Kaisuk is far away, alone, and conveniently killable. Perfect for the nothing happened. It was the monster's strategy. Yache doesn't care what Kaisuk is doing, only that he can now get rid of him quietly. Because in dungeons, no CCTV, no witnesses, just oops monster attack. His beef with Kaisuk goes way back, ever since his hired assassin, Aka Hunter-Killer, died. Everything been chaos. Then Kok gets discharged from the hospital in trouble, starts multiplying like Minecraft zombies at night. And the bullies. They told Yacha, the non-attribute weakling, used every spell they used, plus a fire attack straight out of a Marvel movie. Yacha couldn't make sense of their story and left. But not before ordering re-education for them, because in his world incompetence is a bigger crime than murder. During the chaos, the bully who took Kaiwiro's punch screamed, "Kaisuk, he's not human." And honestly, the terror in his voice could win an Oscar. Yacha tried to corner Kaisuk by arranging a special class, basically a trap with classroom seating. But Kaisuk Houdini'd himself out using illusions. Yacha assumes magical tools, because admitting the kid is just stronger. Impossible. Breaks his ego. On the way, Yache found monsters one shot obliterated by fire magic. Exactly what the bully said. Still, he's unimpressed. Even a Wako could do this, big deal. Man, comparing everyone to a dropout from the pentagram, like it's the Ivy League of murder. And he hates that. He wants to surpass a Wako someday, take his throne, and eventually rule the world. A very normal, very emotionally stable career plan. Because when he finally tracks Kaiwiro down in a dungeon, he finds him chilling on a mountain of monster corpses. Bro's sitting there like it's a throne. And when Yache sneaks closer, Kaiwiro doesn't even look back, he just says, "Took you long enough, I've been waiting." Yache's stunned, he hid his presence perfectly. And then it hits him. Kaiwiro starts speaking the same thoughts running in Yache's head. That's when he realizes, oh, he's not dealing with some random student. Yoi steps out from the shadows, his eyes sharp with suspicion. He demands to know, who is this man really? But instead of answering, Kaisuk smirks, that cruel, knowing smirk of someone who's seen through every layer of pretense. "I thought anyone chosen by AKO would be extraordinary," he says mockingly. "But looking at you, you're just another flawed, ordinary soul." The insult cuts deep. Kaisuk leans in, twisting the knife further. "The only thing you have in common with AKO is cowardice. Both of you hide behind rookies, sending them out for dirty work and money. You're no different from the filth you command." Yoi's jaw tightens, but before he can respond, Kaiwiro steps in, his tone colder than the dungeon air. "You like tormenting others," he says, "but you've never known what it feels like to be hunted. Consider yourself lucky, you're about to learn." Inside his mind, Kaiwiro is already scheming, planning to turn Yoi into his future puppet. Then Kaiwiro releases absolute hypnosis. The spell hits like a shockwave. Yoi's eyes glaze over. His body stiffens. Kaiwiro studies the effect. "It takes time to break the spirit," he murmurs, "but once it does, it's flawless." He commands Yoi to stand, and like a puppet, Yoi obeys. Satisfied, Kaiwiro orders him to finish his class mission. Yoi responds in monotone obedience. To refine the spell, Kaiwiro tells him to speak normally. Instantly, Yoi regains his natural tone and rushes back to the group. Kaiwiro watches, impressed. "Better than I expected." Later, Kaiwiro rejoins the others. Karen runs up, concerned. "Are you all right?" she asks. He smiles lightly. "Just talking with a senior, nothing more," she blinks, surprised. "A senior about what?" Kaiwiro smirks. "About dreams and how to achieve them." She smiles, wishing for his dreams to come true, not realizing what kind of dream she's just blessed. The class ends. Everyone leaves. Kaiwiro is satisfied. He's made progress and secured a pawn that even AKO won't suspect. In AKO's office, the air is thick with tension. "Any progress?" AKO asks. To his surprise, Yoi smiles. "Yes, the student with the unique attribute is involved. His name is Kaisuk, a first year. He has the void element and he's in my custody." AKO's eyes narrow. Multi-attribute magic, that phrase alone hooks him. Yoi grins inside, the bait worked. He adds, "If you give me some time, I can extract more." Then slyly, "Or maybe you like to interrogate him yourself." AKO chuckles darkly. "It's been a while since I've handled interrogation. Sounds fun." But before he can leave, his phone rings. It's a woman's voice. Thank you for selecting us for the bid. AKO's expression darkens. Drop the act, Lele. Lele Ruashi, former Golden Seeker. The woman who betrayed Kaiohiro 2 decades ago. She teases, why so cold? We're both government dogs now, aren't we? AKO grits his teeth. I'm busy, she laughs. Busy doing what? Running a school while stuffing your pockets, he snaps back, but she changes the subject. So I hear there's a student with a void attribute, AKO confirms. Yes, but unique traits bring variables. Lele hums, amused. Like the time attribute Kaiohiro once had. The name freezes him. AKO's tone turns venomous. Don't you ever say that name again, she laughs. Oh, come on. When Kaiohiro awakened, the balance of power shattered, admit it. He cuts the call in rage, slamming the phone down. The mention of that name has ruined his mood, and he decides to take it out on his new prisoner. That night, AKO storms into the interrogation room, only to find it empty. What the? Suddenly, Yoi attacks from behind, but AKO blocks easily, grinning. So you think you can take me now? Golden chains materialize from his hands, wrapping around Yoi, slamming him to the ground. You made the wrong choice, he growls. Your foolish ambition ends here. He raises his hand for the killing blow when a voice echoes behind him. You haven't changed, still a big idiot. Chills crawl up AKO's spine. He turns and freezes. Kaisuk steps from the shadows. Still the same, he says, groveling before the strong, crushing the weak. Some things never change. AKO's face twists in anger. How dare a student speak to me like this? Kaisuk smirks, repeating AKO's own words from earlier about foolish desires ruining oneself, throwing them back at him like a mirror. AKO's rage boils over. I'll expel you myself, he shouts, demanding the student's ID. Kaiohiro steps closer. Finally, he says, we've reached this point. Let's have a proper talk, just the two of us. AKO's fury peaks. He summons a massive hand of stone and slams it down with lethal force. The explosion destroys the warehouse. AKO laughs victoriously. This is what happens to those who defy me. But his laugh fades when the smoke clears. Standing amid the rubble unharmed is Kaiohiro. I just wanted to chat, he says calmly. AKO's eyes widen in horror. That's impossible. Who are you? He shouts. Kaiohiro tilts his head. You really don't remember me. The tone, the exact tone from 2 decades ago, chills AKO to his core. Sweat runs down his face. No, he's dead. Misadu Kaiohiro is dead. Is that what you tell yourself? Kaiohiro replies coldly. Living your life believing only what's convenient. AKO stumbles back, trembling. Stay away, I'll unleash my full magic. Kaiohiro steps forward. That's what they told you, isn't it? Sweet lies, that's why you betrayed me. AKO screams, unleashing twin-element spells, wind and earth, but Kaiohiro counters effortlessly. His own power eclipses AKO's entirely. I was trapped, Kaiohiro says. Trapped in despair, in agony. AKO collapses, realizing the truth. You really are Misadu Kaiohiro. Took you long enough, Kaiohiro replies coldly. AKO refuses to accept it. Then you're a ghost. He launches another storm of attacks, but Kaiohiro walks through them untouched. You've learned nothing, he sighs. AKO snarls, gathering everything he has, 2 decades of rage, fear, and pride, unleashing a cyclone of stone and wind. This is my ultimate spell, he roars. You're finished. When the dust settles, he laughs, believing he's won. I've done it, I've surpassed the past, I'm no longer weak. But then Kaiohiro's voice echoes behind him. Are you done talking? AKO turns, pale as death. Kaiohiro stands untouched. Impressive magic, he admits, but still below me. The ground trembles as his true power ignites. AKO launches another desperate attack. Kaiohiro stops it midair with one hand. If you think you can win with this, he says quietly, you're dreaming. Every spell AKO throws is reflected back stronger. He's blasted across the field, powerless. Kaiohiro stands over him, his fist glowing with vengeance. AKO drops to his knees, begging for forgiveness. We were brothers once. Kaiohiro's fury burns through his calm. You lost that right, he growls. You made me into a demon of revenge. Then he strikes. A devastating blow to AKO's face, followed by a barrage of punches until the man collapses, nearly unconscious. Kaiohiro spares his life, not out of mercy but for answers. When AKO awakens, the sight of Kaiohiro sends him crawling back in fear. "Please don't kill me," Kaiohiro smirks. "Kill you? No, that'd be too easy." He picks up AKO's phone. "Tell me about your last call to Lele." Terrified, AKO obeys. "She's coming to Japan in 3 days." Kaiohiro nods. "Good, treat her normally. Tell no one about me. If you do, the spell on your heart will explode." AKO nods frantically, unaware it's a bluff. Kaiohiro walks away, thinking he'll never risk it. Fear will keep him silent. 3 days later, Lele Ruashi lands in Japan. Her private jet glides in smoothly, but mid-flight terrorists hijack the plane. Passengers panic until Lele stands up, smirking. Within seconds, she dismantles the hijackers effortlessly. The crowd gasps, a pentagram saint. At the airport, officials thank her for saving everyone. She smiles politely, but her words are sharp. "Their guns were made of dungeon materials. Next time, upgrade your scanners." She places a hand on an officer's shoulder. "And I'll need that same material for my own guards." He nods nervously. "Oh, of course." As she walks away, she calls someone. "Release the hijackers," she orders. Her guard chuckles. "Everything went perfectly," she grins. "Of course. A little chaos is good for business and publicity." Cameras flash as fans swarm her. Soon she arrives at AKO's office. "So," she says, sitting down, "how's that void attribute investigation?" AKO, sweating, replies calmly, "A false alarm, nothing worth mentioning." Lele sighs. "Disappointing. I hoped for something interesting." Throughout the conversation, AKO stays careful, terrified that the spell will kill him if he slips. Lele changes topic. "Let's talk about the real reason I'm here. The drug. It's time to choose the next test subjects." AKO nods. "Yes, I've prepared the student list." She smiles wickedly. "Good, you've been useful." Meanwhile, somewhere far away, Kaiohiro listens through his earpiece, his eyes dark with fury as he hears every word. He sits there, watching the news. Every report flashes the same name, Ruashi, the woman who once betrayed him more than 20 years ago. Back then, she was already deep into her obsession with dungeon materials, turning them into weapons and items worth millions. Now, she's rich, respected, and pretending to be a hero. But Kaiohiro knows better. Behind that smiling face is a fox, cunning, manipulative, and dangerous. On the surface, she saves people. Behind the scenes, she destroys lives for profit. He knows getting to her won't be easy. The Academy's security alone is a fortress, but he's not rushing. This time, he'll plan every move. As he's thinking, Asahi walks in. "Hey, what are you reading?" she asks, peeking at his screen. She talks about how incredible Lei was, how she fought hijackers and won, then mentions something called the Great Snake of Changsha. That catches Kaiohiro's attention. "The what?" he asks. Asahi smiles. "That's the clan Lei founded. Everyone in it's insanely strong." Kaiohiro freezes. The men in black suits he saw earlier suddenly make sense. They weren't just guards, they were her people. And when Asahi adds that students are dying to join that clan, Kaiohiro's mind starts racing. That's it, that's his way in. If he joins the clan, he gets closer to Lei, close enough to strike. He thanks Asahi, maybe a little too fast, and rushes out. She's left standing there like, "Wait, what did I just help him with?" Meanwhile, in Awako's office, the phone rings. He answers nervously, and it's Kaiohiro. His voice is smooth, controlled. "There's something I need you to do." Awako gulps. "What is it?" Kaiohiro gives him clear instructions. What to say if Lei calls, how to act. Awako doesn't dare argue. Then cut to a dim testing lab. White coats, metal instruments, and a single student strapped to a chair. He's trembling, eyes wide with fear. The scientists whisper around him, their words sharp and cold. The door slides open. Lei walks in. Her heels click against the floor, echoing like a countdown. "How are you feeling?" she asks. The boy cries out, begging for mercy. "Please, no more. I'll die if you keep injecting me." Lay's expression doesn't even flicker. She kicks him to the ground. "If you survive, you'll become stronger. If you die, well, that's data too." She nods at the scientists. "Continue." They inject him again. He screams, his body convulsing until finally silence. He's gone. Lay sighs, useless. The scientists take notes while she stares at the lifeless body. "Find someone with higher magical proficiency. These weaklings are wasting my time." A guard steps forward. "We'll need more test subjects soon." Lay smirks. "Then we'll open a recruitment drive, same as always." She steps into the elevator, pulls out her phone, and calls Awako. "I need new samples, students with strong magical talent." Remembering Kaiohiro's orders, Awako repeats exactly what he was told. Why not disguise it as a selection at the academy? A test to find the most gifted students. Lei pauses, then laughs softly. "Not bad, Awako. Sometimes you actually think." She sets the date. The trap is ready. The next day, the academy's head guard storms into class. "Listen up. The great snake of Changsha clan will be holding a recruitment event." The room erupts, everyone's buzzing, whispering about fame, money, and glory. But Kaiohiro, he just smirks. His path to Lei has finally opened. The day of the selection arrives. Students gather in rows, their hearts pounding. The guard explains the process, magical tests, combat trials, the works. Kaiohiro, calm as ever, is already planning how to use this to get Lei's attention. Asahi finds him again. "You're taking the exam too?" she asks. "I know I don't belong here, but I have my reasons." He raises an eyebrow but doesn't pry. The first test begins, measuring magical power. One by one, students place their hands on the device. Most barely light it up. Then comes Kaiohiro. The examiner glances at his void element card and scoffs. "Void, huh? Don't expect much." But the moment Kaiohiro touches the device, the room explodes with light. The glow blinds everyone. When it fades, the score flashes on screen, S rank. The examiner's jaw drops. Next test, magical skill. Kaiohiro casually forms a chunk of earth, and the examiner smirks, unimpressed. But then wind, fire, water, lightning, all at once. Kaiohiro controls every element like it's second nature. The examiner just stands there, stunned, wondering how anyone could call the void element useless. Asahi runs up afterward, grinning. "You were amazing." He smiles. "Good luck on yours." When it's her turn, she uses light magic, reviving dead plants with a gentle touch. The crowd barely notices, but Kaiohiro does. He's shocked. Light magic is rare, sacred. The examiners ignore it, but he knows it's better that way. Less attention means she's safer. Except Yang Senu, Lei's right-hand man, notices, and his eyes gleam with interest. Finally, the duels begin. Students versus clan members, hopeless odds. Yang Senu assures them it's not about winning, just performance. But everyone knows they're about to get crushed. Kaiohiro steps up. His opponent sneers. "Good display earlier, but that won't save you now." He slams his hand down, summoning a wall of earth, but Kaiohiro's faster. A gust of wind tears through it like paper. Before the man can blink, Kaiohiro's gone. Then slash. A blade of water appears at his throat. The duel is over. Kaiohiro smirks. "Thanks for the lesson." Yang Senu is speechless. Who is this kid? Later that night, he reports to Lei. One student stood out, void attribute, S-rank performance. Lei's eyes widen. Void, a grin spreads across her face. Well, looks like things just got interesting. The next morning in the student hall, Yang Senu announces the final results. First place, I Kaisuk. The crowd murmurs, no surprise there. He's been the star all along. Kaisuk smirks, everything going to plan. But then the next name drops. Second place, Asahi Karen. Kaiohiro's eyes go wide. Asahi, He can't believe it. She's thrilled, smiling proudly. But Kayawiro can't shake the feeling that Lei's hand is behind this. Maybe Asahi's magic caught her attention. Maybe she's in danger now. He forces himself to calm down. Don't overthink. Stay focused. I'll protect her, he whispers.
Subscribe and press the bell so you know what happens next.